how to subtract mixed numbers. Unlike adding mixed numbers, the order actually does matter in this one. For instance, if I was to do 3 minus 2, that is not the same as saying I have 2 minus 3, because 3 minus 2 is 1, but 2 minus 3 is negative 1, which are not the same. So order does matter in this part. Let's go down to our example here, where I have 3 1/3 and I'm subtracting 1 1/2. The very first thing I want to do is I want to find a common denominator. To do that, I'm going to find my multiples. My multiples of 3 and 2, because those are my denominators. I know that 3 and 2 both have 6 in common, and it's going to take me 2 multiples to get there with my 3, but it's going to take me 3 multiples to get there with my 2. I'm going to go back up to my problem here, and that's going to look something like this. My denominator is a 3, so I'm going to multiply it by 2. Where my denominator is a 2, I'm going to multiply it by 3. And then I'm going to rewrite my problem. So I'm going to have 3, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 2/3. Subtracting 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. I should have a common denominator of 6, which I do. I then look to myself, can I take 3/6 away from 2/6? My answer is no. This is why I didn't want to do my whole numbers first. In this case, I'm actually going to borrow like I do in normal subtraction. I'm going to borrow from my whole number, and it's going to become a 2. But my base number in this case is a 6. It takes me 6 parts to make one whole. 6 parts to make one whole. So on here, I'm actually going to add 6 because that's what my denominator is. Because I took one whole away, which is worth 6, so I added it to my numerator. I now have 8 on the top and 6 on the bottom. And I'm going to keep my second fraction, or second mixed number, the way it is. I now look again, and I look at my fractions first. Can I take 3/6 away from 8/6? Yes, because 3 is a smaller number than 8. So 8 minus 3 is 5. My denominator is going to stay the same. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer in this case is 1 5/6.